Ethereum is not only one of the largest and most well-known cryptocurrencies in the world, but it's also one of the top performing cryptocurrencies of this year so far. And Vitalik actually just came out and said that Ethereum 2.0 isn't even priced in yet. Now, the reason why this is so significant is because right now, Ethereum is outpacing Bitcoin at about a 3-to-1 ratio, meaning that for every 1% Bitcoin moves, Ethereum is moving 3%. And so what we can see on the year so far is from bottom to where we're currently at, Bitcoin has moved up about 30%, and Ethereum, as we can see on this chart, is up over 90%. Again, this is one of the top performing cryptocurrencies of the year, and Vitalik is saying that Ethereum 2.0 isn't even priced in yet. So there's a lot of really big Ethereum news, and I want to talk about why Ethereum can be one of the top performing altcoins of the year, despite being the largest altcoin of them all. Now, on top of this, we have major, I don't want to say major countries, but we have major moves happening from countries and nations that are trying to get out of their fiat currencies and into cryptocurrencies. And this is happening right now with a number of countries, but Bloomberg just reported it happening in Nigeria, and we have Schwab Asset Management saying that they want to list a crypto ETF on the New York Stock Exchange. So much is happening over here. The IMF is talking about stablecoins, but I truly do want to focus this video on Ethereum and the potential that it has, as well as a lot of the fundamental developments that we're seeing happen in the macroeconomic world that we are living in right now. So if that interests you, well, first of all, welcome to the channel. My name is Brendan, and it's great to have you. We make videos like this one twice a week on Wednesdays and Fridays, and sometimes get a third video in on Mondays as well. But let's go ahead and start with this breakdown, because crypto, especially Ethereum, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but it has been one of the outliers of the year so far, and just absolutely outperforming almost every other cryptocurrency, give and take a couple like LDO and Matic. But with this happening, the merge is coming up, and this is one of the most fundamentally strong things that people are truly excited about in the markets. They're excited for Ethereum to be moving to proof of stake, and this should also make transactions not only cheaper, but also faster as well. Now, it's not going to be anything significant like where we're going to be getting 1 cent or 10-cent gas fees. It should remove them from like $5, $6, $7, and it should also help out with the loads when things are very, very stressed from, say, like a Yuga Labs event or a Gary Vee event or something like that. It should help with gas fees during these more hectic times, as well as move the network to a more eco-friendly proof of stake network overall. So with all this happening, people are very, very excited about what Ethereum can do, because it's already one of the largest, if not the most active blockchain in the world. Some could argue that that is Bitcoin, but the amount of dApps that Ethereum has built on top of it is, second to none. It has so many different applications and how people are using it across the world. And so this is why people are excited, and this is why Ethereum is up almost 100% from its bottom to its top, where it's sitting at right now. Now, at the time of making this video, Ethereum's sitting at around 1,700 and Bitcoin sitting at around 24,000. And both of them are doing green, or are doing really good, especially after such a crazy week. I think a lot of people are shocked that crypto is just starting to decouple from NASDAQ. And if we go and we take a look at something like NASDAQ, NASDAQ is starting to decouple from Bitcoin, or rather, crypto is starting to decouple from NASDAQ. And the reason why this is significant is because the traditional markets, they just have a lot of bearish news coming out about them. Whereas cryptocurrency, give and take a couple of little scenarios, has had positive event and positive event and positive event come out, and it's starting to decouple and rip, because there's so much bullish news coming out about crypto that it simply can't be tied down anymore. So we're seeing this happen, as I mentioned. We've covered this in a numerous amount of other videos on the channel, but another country is starting to lose confidence in their fiat currency, and it looks like they want to move to Bitcoin. So this is an article published by Bloomberg, and it talks about Nigeria and how they are trying to flock to cryptocurrency. Now, Schwab Asset Management needs no introduction. Pretty much everyone here is or, most likely is aware of who Schwab and Charles Schwab is. They are a financial giant of the world, especially here in the United States. And this came as a little bit of a surprise to me, but they actually want to launch a crypto ETF on the New York Stock Exchange. And I don't think they're the first person to try to do something like this, but they are a giant. And we have to remember, number one, how much they have in assets under management and how many customers and clients that they have on a yearly basis, because they are huge. I mean, just absolutely giant. If there's any kind of financial giant out there, there's like all the basic ones like JP Morgan and Charles Schwab, and there's a bunch of them out there, but Charles Schwab is one of the largest ones to exist. So is this a good thing for cryptocurrency? I certainly think that it is. I think if anything, this will get people who are a little bit nervous to get into cryptocurrency just be a little bit more comfortable with the process and kind of ease them into this in a more traditional means that they're most likely used to. Now, the IMF has to come out and speak here, and of course they say that they see stablecoins posing the biggest risk to the crypto markets, and this most likely comes as a result of the Terra USD or the USDT situation that happened in March of this year, where USDT decoupled and it went on a death spiral, and they talk about it a little bit in this video. But people are nervous that this could happen to other stable coins. Now, I think in order to understand this properly, we have to understand the difference. And we talked about this already, but we have to understand the difference between all these different stable coins. USDT, TUSD, DAI, whatever you want to say, USDC, all these ones, at least those four that I mentioned, are very different from one another. Tether and USDC and DAI are significantly different from USDT, the Terra-based stablecoin, because they have actual cash reserves and they're not based on an algorithmic-based stablecoin where it has to relate to a brother or a sister coin. In this case, it was Terra Luna. Tether doesn't have that. DAI doesn't have that. USDC doesn't have that. They're very different. The only thing that these stable coins had in common is that they were trying to peg their value to the US dollar, but they went about it in very, very different ways. So if you're curious and learning more about that, we've made some videos about that on the channel, but it's also something for you to look into yourself. Now, I want to talk about what's happening here on Ethereum because, I truly do believe that it has potential. And what we saw is that we saw a really nice ascending triangle form at the bottom of our Ethereum chart. And after we begun to see this and see the breakout happen, of course, we moved from one consolidation zone down here to our next and most previous one right above here. And so what I was talking over with the Crypt Nation team and a lot of the people that are really a part of Crypt Nation, especially the analysts, is Ethereum is going to be tested for the real time here because this is the first primary resistance that it's had since its breakout. I would say that this was secondary resistance. This was just part of its consolidation range, but now we're moving from our current range to a previous range for the first time in this bear market since, I don't know, since the very beginning of the year, if that. So this is one of the first times in months on months that a major cryptocurrency is moving from one of its consolidation ranges up to a previous consolidation range. And so with Ethereum testing this level right now, this is going to be a big piece of information for all of us. And so we're going to learn, is Ethereum strong enough to break through this on the first test? Because if it is able to break through this on the first test, I think that is a continued testament to how strong Ethereum is right here. And if it's not, I think it's still okay because Ethereum has seen a lot of gains so far. And if it doesn't break this on the first test, that's really not that big of a deal. In fact, it's probably to be expected. So what I'm looking for now is two things. How are we going to react to this resistance? Previously, we tested this for almost a week and a half. With a number of rejections, but now it looks like we are briefly breaking above this and trying to close some candles on top of this range. I would like to see these candles close above 1800 to be a little bit more confident, but this is still a good sign that we are pushing higher on Ethereum. And guess what? We've begun to use the 20-day moving average as a support, as we can see from just a couple of days ago, actually about 3 days ago on July 26th. So lots of positive things happening on the Ethereum chart, lots of positive things happening on Ethereum fundamentally. And what could happen here is Ethereum could be really paving the way for altcoins to take off and for crypto to really see some recovery here. You know, previously I'd said that this could be one of those buy the hype, sell the news events, but leading up to it right now, you know, we're still in the hype phase, but people seem to be really excited and really bullish on the crypto market. And something that we don't see at the bottom of these crypto markets is altcoins moving before Bitcoin, and that's what we're seeing right now. If we go over to the total 2 chart, we have altcoins skyrocketing. And again, we said Bitcoin was up about 36%, but the altcoin market is up over 45% as a whole across the board. So altcoins are outpacing Bitcoin at the bottom, and typically when bottoms happen in these macro bear markets, Bitcoin recovers first and then the altcoin markets recover. But right now we're seeing a variation of that where the altcoins are recovering and Bitcoin's almost following some of the altcoins. So it's a wild scenario up here. Of course, we do still have resistance levels on Bitcoin that exist, and we have to acknowledge that we're not out of the woods yet, and there still are resistance levels above us. But whether you are an altcoin fan or a Bitcoin maximalist, I think we can all appreciate where cryptocurrency is at right now and all the bullish developments that are happening across the board. So that's going to round us up for this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Again, we make videos like this one every single week, around 2 to 3 times a week. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. It's so great having you all, and I'll see you all in next week's video.